understand because he's got a lot of stuff. I'm not making that up. There are a lot of people. They said actually tailgate parties. So I was taking heat because, you know, the liberal media, they want to guard that. They don't want that out because that's not good for them. I don't know why. You know what I don't understand? I want to make our country great again. For the liberals, for the Democrats, for the Republicans, for conservative Republicans. I want to make our country. Why do people fight us? Why? Why? It's so obvious what's happening. So we have a case, and I could have said, oh, I misspoke. I'm not big on that, am I? I'm not big on apologies. You know what? There's nothing wrong with an apology, but you have to be wrong. I believe in apologizing, but you have to be wrong. So tonight on CNN, I'm watching this total novice reporter, and she's talking about Donald Trump made a statement about this and that. And I gave him an article in the Washington Post. You probably all saw it. Okay? Now there's other things coming out. Today I received hundreds of phone calls over the last couple of days since I said it from people saying, Mr. Trump, you're right. You're right. We saw it. We live in New Jersey. We saw it. You're right. So what happens is the Washington Post writes an article. And one of the paragraphs, it says, and by the way, this was right after September 11th. This was September 18th. And right after, sort of an amazing thing, right after a couple of good paragraphs, it's talking about northern New Jersey draws the prober's eye, written by a nice reporter. Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. This was 14 years ago. They didn't do a retraction. 14 years ago, they did no retraction. And it says, in Jersey City, within hours of two jetliners plowing into the World Trade Center, law enforcement authorities detained and questioned a number of people who were allegedly seen celebrating the attack and holding tailgate-style parties. You know what tailgates are? That's like for football games. A lot of people on rooftops. And also, by the way, on streets, on rooftops, while they watch the devastation on the other side of the river. Now, that's the Washington Post. Folks, they do nothing for me. They hate my guts, okay? They don't get it. They're saying, what happened? What happened? How has this happened? Number one, I built a great company. I made a hell of a lot of money, and I built a great... When I did the filing, nobody could believe it. And I'm not saying that braggadociously. I'm saying it for a different reason. It's the kind of thinking we need now in our country. We have these incompetent dopes. It's the kind of thinking. It's the kind of thinking we need. And people that know me aren't surprised. My wife, Melania, she said, you know that if you run, you're going to win, don't you? She has more confidence than I did. I said, you think so? You really think so? And when we came down on that escalator, I will tell you, it takes courage to run. I will tell you that. I went down into Trump Tower, and I never saw so many kids. This looked like the Academy Awards. And I said to Melania, boy, this is crazy. This is big stuff. And I went like, I took a deep breath. I went down, and I made a speech. And in the speech, I talked about illegal immigration. And nobody knew what a big subject that turned out to be. It turned out to be a massive subject. It turned out to be maybe the preeminent subject. Because terrorism now, and the reason I've gone up, everyone else has gone up, I've gone way up, because people view me as the one I'm going to be the best protector. I'm going to fight like hell for your safety. I'm going to fight like hell for your safety. But I took tremendous abuse from the press, tremendous abuse. And then you had Kate in San Francisco, beautiful Kate. An illegal immigrant walked in and shot her in the back. 5 times came in. 5 times, probably and possibly pushed in, because these are smart countries. They're run by very smart people. They're cunning, they're sharp. They're not like our people that are dopes. They're cunning people. They don't want this guy in Mexico. They don't want people in Chile. They don't want people in anywhere. Why should they put people in jail and spend a fortune taking care of them for 40 years when the United States will do it for them for nothing after they go and they kill people? That's what's happening, folks. Whether you like it or not, that's what's happening. Why should they pay for it when we stupid people, stupid leaders, people that haven't got a clue, people with no common sense, will take them, and when they kill somebody, we have our sanctuary cities where it's practically like you can do whatever you want and nothing's going to happen to you. Nobody even knew the word sanctuary city. Nobody even ever heard of it. And all of a sudden we find out that this guy was released and he went on a spree and he killed beautiful Kate. And Jamil Shaw, a young man, I became friends with his father, one of the nicest men. His son is was a wonderful quarterback, good student. He was applying to Stanford and other colleges, and everybody wanted him. And he was shot in the face 3 times by an illegal immigrant. And when he went down, he went like this, no more, no more. And they shot his hands off because it was a .45, right? He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. He was told, this illegal guy was told to do it. And then a couple of weeks ago in California, you had a 66-year-old veteran sodomized, raped, and killed. A female, wonderful person with an incredible family. She was raped, sodomized, and killed by an illegal immigrant. And this is 3 people. I don't know if you saw it 2 weeks ago. I brought some of the folks up who lost their sons, lost their daughters, lost their brother, their sister, their mother. I brought them up on stage. They were just killed for no reason. For no reason. Just killed. Walking down the street. I don't like you. Boom. They're dead. That's the end of it. That's the end of a daughter. That's the end of a son. You have to see these people. In one case, it was 10 years ago, and the person said, it's gotten worse. You know, you think time heals. The person told me, Mr. Trump, it's worse than it was 10 years ago. It's worse. And we got to stop it. And we got to stop it. People can come in, they're going to come in legally, and we're going to do something we're going to be so tough, we're going to be so vigilant, we're going to be so sharp. And we're not letting others in because, you know, we've got to fix our country. Our country's broken. Our country is broken. We owe $19 trillion. Our roads are no good. Our transit is no good. Our airports are third world. We have third world airports. I go to places like Qatar and Dubai and all of these different places. I do deals there. They're great people. I do deals there. You land at airports like you've never seen before. We're like third world. We come in, we leave these airports, the most gorgeous thing. You never saw places like this. The most beautiful places. I was with the head of Qatar Airlines. And I said, what's your average age of plane? It was like, they're all brand new. Everything's new. And he's showing me the airport. I say, this is the most beautiful terminal I've ever seen. This is really, really beautiful. Congratulations. He goes, no, Mr. Trump, this is not the terminal. This is just temporary. There is the terminal. And he points, and there's 50 cranes across the way. And they're building the most unbelievable airport you've ever seen. This gets demolished. And it's nicer than any airport we have. We're a third world country. We have to fix our country. We have to fix our country. It's time. It's time. It's time. We have wars going on. We have people that have no common sense. Now, a lot of you have been supporters for a long time. Some of you hopefully are going to be supporters now. But, you know, I've been saying, my longtime supporters will tell you, for 3 years I've been saying, take the oil. Take the oil. We shouldn't have been in Iraq. And I said it in 2003, 2004. I said, Reuters, 2004. Don't go in, you're going to destabilize the entire Middle East. That's what happened. And then Obama comes in, and instead of saying, think of it, unpredictable, you got to be unpredictable. We're so predictable. We're so predictable. Obama comes in, and instead of saying, look, we should have never been there because you had the 2 countries. But instead of just saying, well, we're going to stay or we're not going to, don't tell. He gives a date certain when we're leaving. And I said to myself, wow. I'm a fan of General George Patton. I'm a fan of the great Douglas, right? Right? No. We have George Pattons. You know, our Naval Academy and our Military Academy, West Point, and our Air Force. We have great people that are really tough and really smart. And that's the combination you want. You don't want tough and dumb. You know, plenty of those guys. I've been beating those guys all my life. The dummies that are tough. You want tough and really, really, really smart. Brilliant. And we have guys like that. But a lot of times they're not politically correct. You know, we got rid of a great general 2 years ago because he was tough and ornery and he used foul language. Can I tell you? And his soldiers loved him, by the way. They loved him. I mean, Patton probably wouldn't be a corporal today, right? I mean, Patton was brutal. MacArthur was cool. MacArthur was, boom, I can take on the world. And I watched a general recently on television, and they said to him, what do you think about ISIS? Oh, ISIS is very tough. And I'm saying, first of all, why is a general on television? I don't want my generals on television. I don't want generals talking to these guys, okay? You know, I don't want them talking to those people. I don't want my generals talking to that group of people back there, 70 of which, I'll tell you what, 70% of those people are absolute total scum. I will tell you that. It's true. They're total scum. They're dishonest. They're bad people. They're bad people. You know what? I say all the time about the press, I have never seen dishonesty like I have from those guys, the political press. And you know what? Every single night that I go out, I have the biggest crowds by far. Nobody has crowds like me. Every single night that I go out and I make a speech where we have crowds like this and bigger and bigger. This was my night off. I was going to have 2,000 people. It ends up being 10,000 people. I wanted a small crowd. But every single night I go home, I say, how did the crowd look, honey? To my wife. Oh, you didn't see any crowd. They never show the crowd. They never show the crowd. They never. And yet if somebody was a protester, if that handsome guy in the blue jacket started protesting and saying, oh, well, we don't like you, Trump, they would turn those cameras on him so fast. And then the next day, it's true. And the next day, I will tell you this, the headline will be protests at Trump rally. I had it the other night. I had 14,000 people. I had one guy protesting, and that became a story. For nothing. For nothing. And he was an obnoxious, terrible guy that was screaming and horrible. He was a horrible guy. But that became the story. No fair. But I tell these guys every night, fan the audience, and they don't want to do it. And they don't do it. Look at them. They don't do it. They don't do it. They won't do it. They won't do it. They won't do it. They're dishonest people. I have to say, 30% are good. I mean, you do have good ones. No, it's disgusting. They don't move the cameras. They keep it right on my kisser. You know, they keep it right on my face. And she tells, is that right? She tells, every night I go, how did the crowd look? I had 14,000 people. Oh, I don't know. And then they have some woman, Sarah Murray, whoever the hell that is. And she's like this. And she's going, this is Sarah Murray, and I'm reporting for CNN. And I'll tell you when she does her report. When everyone's gone, she stands on that. The place is empty. Everyone's gone. There's paper all over the floor. It looks like I won't say the word. Looks like a messy place. I don't want to say it, because they'll say he uses bad language. But it's a mess. Chairs laying down. Everyone's gone. This is Sarah Murphy reporting for CNN. Mr. Trump made a speech tonight. Okay. Now, just about the top guy last night in Columbus, Ohio. 14,000 people. We thought there was going to be 7 or 8. Just about the top guy at CNN was there last night. And he's a nice guy. And he told my people that he has never seen it. He's been in this business for a long time. He has never seen anything like he witnessed last night. 14,000 people, and they were going crazy. They were going crazy. And he said he's never seen anything like he witnessed last night. Let's see if the coverage changes at CNN. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Frankly, I doubt anything's going to happen. Okay. If the people in Paris had guns, you wouldn't have had the problem that you had. That I can tell you. You wouldn't have had the problem. You wouldn't have had the problem. Paris has among the toughest gun laws in the world. France has among the toughest gun laws in the world. I say it all the time. Law-abiding people won't have guns. These guys walked in with guns. Boom, 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 boom. 130 people, many more to come. You have many, 300 people in the hospital, many of whom are not expected to live. They were sitting ducks. They were sitting ducks. How about us? We have military bases where we lost 5 great soldiers recently. 2 of them were highly decorated. 1 of them was a superstar, the best with guns. They have in a military base a gun-free zone. You believe this? You believe this? That ends with me. First day, that ends. No more gun-free. No more gun-free. No more. No more. No more gun-free zones. So this whack job walks in, starts shooting. These poor guys, these are great people. These are powerful, wonderful soldiers. Like some of the police I'm meeting here, they're incredible tonight. These police, they're incredible people. They're incredible people. And they're not allowed to do their job. And they're afraid to talk to anybody. And then you wonder why crime rates are up and murders are up. I mean, you see what's going on. They don't want to lose their job. They don't want to lose their pension. They're afraid to do. And sure, you have bad apples in every business. Any business you're in, you have bad apples. And you have horrible mistakes made. But the police in this country, they're keeping us whole. They're keeping us safe. And they're not getting what we have to give them. They're not getting it. So I tell it all the time. If the people in Paris had some guns, if you gave 10 of them, 10, they have hundreds in the different places. If 10 of them, it would have been a whole different ball game, folks. Would have been a whole different ball game. No guns, no guns. These animals walked in. And the other thing, I like Brett Baer, nice guy. But I've told every newscaster, don't use the word mastermind. Because what's happening is ISIS is better at the internet than we are. And they're convincing these kids, young kids, their early years. They're in their formidable, they're young. And they see it. And you have Brett Baer talking about masterminds. I thought, you know what? I was so proud of myself. Because frankly, 2 days ago, almost everybody stopped. But then tonight, Brett, who I like, is talking about mastermind. The mastermind is still on the loose. You know what the word mastermind? That's somebody that people look up to, a mastermind. They're not a mastermind. I call the guy that was the mastermind, who's now dead, I call him the guy, I really do. I just say, he's the guy with the dirty hat. He was a dirty, rotten, no good son of a bitch, and we shouldn't. Not a mastermind. He's not a mastermind. And you know, freedom of the press is all fine. But when our press, and they use different terms, and they want to build these people up because maybe it's good for ratings, but they can't use terms like that to describe this scum that we have to eradicate. We have to get rid of these people. These people are killing the world. They're blowing up planes. They're blowing up, and indiscriminately. People go, young women, wonderful, she's married, she's pregnant, she loves her husband, she's at this deal. Her husband's in the back of the room, gone, just blown away like nothing. Just like nothing. We can't let it happen anymore. We have to be strong, we have to be smart, we have to be fair. We have to be fair to all sides. And it's tough. You know, if you're Muslim, I know so many, they're so great, they're such good people. But we have to be smart because it's coming from this area. I mean, there's something going on. There's some nastiness, there's some meanness there. There's something going on in the mosques and other places. And we have to at least say, There's a problem, so we can solve it. We can't close our eyes. I don't know what's wrong with Obama. He wants to close his eyes and pretend it's not happening. Why is he so emphatic on not solving the problem? There's something we don't know about. There's something we don't know about. So we have to go out, and again, the greatest source for this is our local police. And the really greatest source is all of you, because you have all those eyes, and you see what's happening. People move into a house a block down the road. You know who's going in. You can see, and you report them to the local police. You know, it's too complicated. Call federal government. Who do we call? It's a big bureaucratic mess. Nobody knows what they're doing. Okay? But you people, and me, and everybody, you know when somebody moves to an apartment near you or to a house near you. You're pretty smart, right? We know if there's something going. Report them. Most likely you'll be wrong, and that's okay. But let the local police go in and check out. And you'll get rid of this stuff. That's the best way. Everybody's their own cop in a way. I mean, you got to do it. You got to do it. So it's changed a lot in the last week. It's changed really a lot. And what's happened is I was talking about trade, and I was talking about Obamacare, which we will repeal and replace. And we will. Easy. Easy. We're going to do it. And I'm talking about the vets, which I love. I love our vets, so we're going to take care of our vets. We're going to take care of our vets, right? Look at that guy. Come here. Look at that guy. Beautiful. We're going to take care of our vets. Thank you, man. Our vets are treated worse than a lot of the illegal immigrants that come into this country. I'll tell you right now. Our greatest people are the wounded warriors. These are people, the bravery and the courage, and I see them all the time, and I love them. The bravery and the courage of the wounded warriors is beyond anything that I've seen. They lose their legs, their arms, they lose so much. They lose everything. And they have more guts than all of us. I mean, and we don't take proper care of them. We don't take proper care. And one of the reasons I said take the oil, and I didn't say just hit the oil. I said hit the oil and then keep it. You know the old story? In the old days, with armies and countries, to the victor belong the spoils, right? To the victor. Okay. Now, Iraq, a bunch of thieves are running Iraq. They're the ones that created ISIS because they wouldn't let everybody in. It wasn't inclusive. They had all sorts of factions. You have ISIS, and we can take care of ISIS. We can take, if we have the right thinking. I'll tell you what, if we have the right thinking. We don't have the right thinking. You know, Assad's a bad guy, right? Assad's a bad guy. But we're backing rebels who may be worse than him. In fact, a lot of people say the rebels are worse than Assad. So we're backing rebels. So Assad is fighting ISIS. We got to fight ISIS. When they cut the head off James Foley, when they drowned people in cages, in steel cages, and then I hear, the other day I was asked by George Stephanopoulos, what do you think of waterboarding? Oh, and I took heat from the press. Headline, Trump likes waterboarding. They don't say the whole thing. Trump likes. So what do we think about waterboarding? And I said, hey, look, they cut people's heads off. They drown people. Waterboarding is just fine. And it works, too. Don't kid yourself. It works. It works. And the next day, I got killed. But I never change. If I just say what I want. You know what? If it's not good enough, if I'm not going to vote, they're not going to vote for me because I said things that are a little bit too tough. What's tough? What's tough? When they're chopping the heads off our people and other people, when they chop the heads off Christians, they chop them off because they're Christians. And then they say to me, what do you think about waterboarding? I say, I think it's fine. I like it. I like it. We would not have gotten Osama bin Laden, according to what I hear, without waterboarding. That's how we got the information. Waterboarding. Okay? We wouldn't have gotten him. speaking of Osama bin Laden, because we have to, when you vote for something, you got to vote for vision, right? So I said, bomb the oil. Now they're bombing the oil. I said, take the oil. They won't do that because they're too stupid. They have no business ability. Okay? They won't take it. You know what they'll do? They'll bomb it. They'll bomb it like hell. The Exxons of the world, they'll get in. They'll fix it up fast. And then the country will take it over. Some country that hasn't even been formed yet will take it over. We won't get anything out of it. We won't get it because we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. But vision, very important. So I said, don't go into Iraq, I told you. I said, and I've been saying this for a long time, don't go into Iraq. I said it, I'm the only one running that said it. I don't know, maybe Rand Paul, but he has no chance, okay? He has no. Because he wants to just walk away and let everybody, he's too, I am the most militaristic person on the stage, but you have to know who to attack and when, okay? But I'm the one that said don't do it. Then I said, okay, I'm right about that. Got to keep it. Now we're going to keep it. I hope we're going to. All of a sudden, boom, Paris, and they're bombing the hell out of the oil. Remember about a year ago when they went to all the generals? What do you think? Mr. Trump said, bomb the oil. Isn't that ridiculous, General? Yes, so that wouldn't work. Some general, I have an IQ that's about 3 times his, and I got to listen to this guy. He said that wouldn't work, okay? In the meantime, they have the Paris situation, and now they bombed the oil. Okay. But in my book, The America We Deserve, I said, Osama bin Laden, got to watch him, bad guy, because I watch this stuff. I'm like a guy with vision. Hey, I had an uncle, Dr. John Trump, professor at MIT, like this real guy. My father, smart. My mother, we're smart people. You're smart people. We know what we're doing. We're really smart. All of us, we're smart. In my book, before the World Trade Center came down, I said, Osama bin Laden. I said, you better take him out. He's going to be trouble. So the other day on one of the shows, the top guy, Joe Scarborough, good guy, he said, whoa. You mean Trump predicted Osama bin Laden? Yeah, in 2000, before the Trade Center came down, like 18 months. In 2000, around that time. In my book, it says, Osama bin Laden. You got to take him out. Because I saw he was making trouble. He had a big mouth. And he's talking, we're going to do damage. We're going to do damage. Not that I know, but I watch. And I see. And I wrote, and Joe said, whoa, you got to be kidding. He predicted Osama bin Laden. He had it before anybody even knew who the hell he was. That's in the book. He said, let me see the book. He looks at it. There's a date before the World Trade Center. He goes, whoa. That's what it's about. It's about vision, folks. It's about vision. If we took him out, we'd have 2 beautiful buildings standing there instead of 1 okay building, all right? We'd have 2 beautiful buildings standing there right now. We should have taken him out. The other thing I predicted is terrorism. A friend of mine called, who's very political. He said, forget that. You're the first guy that really predicted terrorism. I said in that same book. I said, this is what's going to, because I can feel it. My father always used to say, and again, this is only because we need this in the position. But my father was a tough cookie. But he always used to say, everything he touches turns to gold. And he's got a great sense of location and business and things. And he didn't understand it, but he said he's got this. Now, it's true. What we have to do is we have to put that to work. When we get out, we have to get out and vote. We have to get out and vote. We can't let what happened last time where a lot of people like you didn't get out and vote. And, I made a pledge, and I said, I am going to do my damnedest because we have to turn our country around. I could do other things right now. I'd be so happy. I'm up here. I'm soaking wet. It's 100 degrees. It's hot in here. I could be doing other things right now that would be very nice. I actually love the people in this room. I love the people. I love it. A friend of mine who's a very, very nasty guy, but rich, he said to me, I actually don't like him very much, to be honest, but he considers himself a friend. That's what happens. I don't like him. He's a bad guy, but that's okay. But he said, how do you make a speech in front of so many people? Do you practice? How do you do it? Because he said, I wouldn't be able to sleep for a month if I had to speak in front of all these people. And I said, you know what? It's easy because there's so much love in every room I go to. We have rooms. It's true. We have rooms, no matter where I go, arenas, no matter where. We go to Dallas, it's the same thing. It's like this. There's so much love. It's really easy to understand. People want to take our country back. We want our country to be great again. That's the theme, make America great again. We love our country. We know it can be done. We know it can be done. And there's tremendous love in every room. And it's easy to do this for me. I mean, it's easy. And I don't come up with the speeches, and I don't come up and read a speech. I just don't. There's such, and every night is different. There's such love in the rooms. And they love you. These people in different parts of the country, Oklahoma, 20,000 people, they love you. We're all the same. We're all the same. We don't want this to happen to our country any longer. Remember, and this is so true, the American dream is dead. But I'm going to make it bigger and better and stronger than it ever has been before. And we are going to make America great again. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.